What is the most expensive item you have bought that was a complete waste of money? I was talked into joining a stupid pyramid scheme back in 2007 for $500. I was a broke college freshman at the time. What makes it worse is that I even talked my best friend into joining me, and he did it. We weren't the smartest, but it made me realize he was my best friend, because he's still best friends with me 11 years later. If only you could have convinced 3 other guys to join, you'd have been a millionaire. Robotic vacuum cleaner. If I bought a more expensive one, it could have been one of the best purchases I have ever made. Instead, I bought a little, cheap, useless mofo that is at the end of the day found in the most peculiar places, stuck, dying, begging for help. I have a very expensive robot vacuum, and he does an amazing job right now. He's probably almost 2 years old, has a lot of battle damage, but can still keep the whole place pretty clean. Makes a huge difference, and his dustbin is regularly full, so he gets enough to eat. Great purchase, just don't let him out in a storm. I've created some kind of bond with mine. He's like a retarded little brother of mine. Always gets into trouble and needs my assistance to get himself out of it. He is just not good enough in what he is supposed to be good at. Okay, great. This is something I had to adjust to when I first got mine. For example, phone charger cables shouldn't lay on the floor. The entire floor needs to be constantly picked up. No clothes, no cords, nothing weird on the floor, because he eats things, literally tears phone chargers apart. Must be those metal teeth I put on. Anyway, he's a beast. Sorry to hear of your brother's retardation. This thread is making me feel better about dropping $40 on 2 expansion packs for The Sims this past weekend. I did that to a ha. I suppose a $600 bottle of tequila. It was a collab between Patron and Guillermo del Toro, so it came in a sweet box, and the bottle looks like a ribcage and has a bottle of bitter shaped like a skull. £40,000 car. 2 weeks later, I thought this is the biggest waste of money that I could ever spend. Backstory: I was a 23-year-old kid fresh out of a heartbreaking relationship, having a quarter-life crisis. The car was on finance, so much regret over the next 5 years. I made a huge mistake a ways back by getting a Porsche 944. Took me years to recover from that money pit, because seriously every time I drove it, something had to be replaced on it, and parts were ridiculously expensive. I'm glad I learned that old adage before I was old enough to buy. There's nothing more expensive than a cheap Porsche. I spent $160 to get my Steam account to level 100. Regretted it within seconds. Thanks for buying my trading cards. Someone has to. Bruh, there were 5.3k. It took Steam 30 minimums to accept because they thought it was a scam. My inventory was locked for the duration. A Sleep Number mattress. It's not horrible. It's about as comfortable as a $300 to $400 normal spring mattress. Compare that to the $3,000 I dished out 4 years ago, thinking I was investing in my back and overall well-being. Despite what anyone tells you, this thing is just a really expensive air mattress. Just a little side note, there's a statement about halfway through their 30-some page user agreement saying that they are going to be collecting data such as vibrations made on the bed as well as any noises made in the room. Edit, taking out the microphone thing. A few people have corrected me on that. Gaming laptop. I bought it for when I travel, only to quickly realize 2 things. First, I don't travel to game, so it gets very little use per trip, and 2, it's heavy. Small laptop plus old games or light indie games is the way to go. Pretty much everything I needed for a baby. A diaper genie, cat-proof crib netting, a full wardrobe, breathable bumpers for inside a crib, a baby monitor advanced enough to control a drone. Honestly, it's barely a market as much as it a shakedown. Racing drone. The thing is a killing machine. Carbon, no safety, 100 km/h maximum speed in 1,5 seconds. I spent 7,000 Norwegian kroner, about $1,000, with the goggles and everything. I almost hit a car. I did hit myself and destroyed my jacket. Best case scenario, could have gone way worse and almost hit my son. It just lies in the cabin now, looking at me condescendingly. 100 km/t maximum speed in 1,5 seconds. Holy moly. Rolex watch. Saved 4 years and took 8 months to find the right one. I had it for exactly 1 week before it was stolen. I loved the watch, but won't be buying another one. It's very risky. Regret it. Edit. Everyone seems to be asking it was stolen. Basically I was mugged on a night out. I invested $6,000 of a private loan in BitConnect. Not my brightest moment. Oh god lol. What happened? Sorry for the ignorance, but I haven't heard of BitConnect. I imagine it's an online trader of some sort. BCC was a type of cryptocurrency that relied on the volatility of bitcoins. It was a huge scheme that was supposed to pay me back 1% of my investment daily. Worked well for about a month, but it all came crashing down shortly after. I held onto the currency hoping it would shoot back up, but it never did, so all that money I made is now worthless. A $240 paintball gun. Started slaughtering all my friends, and after a couple weeks we all lost interest in playing. Now it just gathers dust. A wedding. Getting married in exactly 1 month. I feel this one. Not that I don't want to marry my future wife. Just that stuff ended up costing way more than our initial estimates.